Hello, Internet.
Free!
I'm Angela. I'm Angela. I'm your DM, and welcome to Shenanigoons, Book of Fables, that fairy tale D&D campaign where you contribute to the chaos, and that's actually true now. How are you all doing, players? Happy Tuesday.
Good. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. Glad you're back.
Yes, I am very glad I am back. I moved to a new house, and so I am now in a new place. You don't know, but I know that I'm in a new place. Anyway, so hope you all in chat are doing well this Tuesday. Tonight is chapter 13. Nothing ominous or inauspicious about that number. I believe our episode is called Some En-Chanterelle'd Evening.
Indeed,
Which,
it
thank you,
is.
Tessa.
You're welcome.
We will
I got Kyle to make the face. I win.
Hey, yes, you do. Tessa, take inspiration.
Fuck yeah!
For making Kyle make the face of a truly disappointed person in our group.
I'm so
Very
It's
pleased.
it's when I like really appreciate it, and I'm like almost disappointed I didn't come up with it first, but I'm proud that you did because it's brilliant. Well done.
You.
Very proud of you.
My other offering was Morel Liddy play.
Yeah. But Chanterelle, I just love the word Chanterelle, so
Me
I'm
too.
very pleased with that. So anyway, we just talked about being faster with our intro.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Really quick before we get into our brief recap of what happened last chapter, let's talk a little bit about the reason we're here. First of all, you all are awesome. We're part of the Nerdsmith Network, and if you like the show and you like what you're seeing, please consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com/nerdsmith. So please consider checking it out. We also are supported by a number of really kick-ass companies that have just really stepped it up for us, and we appreciate the heck out of them. First of all, Eldritch Foundry, who we have designed our character icons with a really lovely digital miniature designer with lots of beautiful fantasy art for you to make your characters, 3D print them if you so choose, or make digital tokens to be used on stream or in actual map situations. There's top-down versions, so you can have your custom character on your map, which is very, very neat. Please check them out at eldritch.foundry.com. Are we doing... I'm trying to remember if we have those. Here,
yes, we do.
Let me do this.
Sorry.
I got the thing. No, it's fine. You're fine.
I'm gonna say Heather is normally...
Foundry.
There we go.
We're fine. I have multiple things at work.
Cool.
We are also sponsored by World Anvil. World Anvil is an incredible world-building suite of tools. Whether you are a campaign manager or a novel writer or any kind of person that likes to create worlds and write all about them, please consider signing up for World Anvil. It is free to start. There are really incredible features right out of the gate, but if you like them and you want some more customized features, like custom URLs, lots of style options to customize how your website looks, you can sign up as a guild member. Guild members have a lot of say and contributions to the direction of the site, and the community is incredible. So please consider joining up with World Anvil today and light up the forge. And last but not least, Tessa, as usual, has a few things she would like to say about our last sponsor for the evening.
Yes, I would love to give a huge shout out to Die Hard Dice, the purveyor of the finest polyhedrals across the world. I have in my hand one of the Dire D20. This is a Mythica Dark Copper Dire D20. It is a big boy. He's very big. He's very chunky. And it rolls.
Eats his spinach.
Super well. It does. It absolutely eats his spinach. It is the Popeye of dice. And right now, if you go to dieharddice.com, you can use the code Nerdsmith-January. Well, JAN anyway.
Is it JAN or 2021?
2021. I am looking at.
I'm fixing it. No, I'm fixed. It's fine. I just fixed it.
Sorry.
So we're good.
Nerdsmith-2021.
I'll put it back
on. For 10% off your purchase until the end of January. So for this Tuesday and next Tuesday, Next Tuesday, we will have a different item that I will be showing off. Something maybe a little bit on the pretty side for Valentine's Day.
Oh
Maybe
my.
perhaps a
Are you?
full set of something for Valentine's Day.
Oh my.
But Tessa, are you saying that that chunky boy in your hand isn't pretty?
Oh no, he's very, very pretty. He's
Okay,
very
okay. I just
pretty.
wanted to make sure.
I need to make my new desk feel bad about itself by
Yes.
rolling a very large dice on it.
Just like that. I will say for your sneak peek next week, the set that will be featured for February is indeed an all metal set, so you should keep your eyes out. They are gorgeous,
That makes me happy.
and I maybe will do something that involves a giveaway of this set over the next month if people are
Oh,
interested.
heck yeah.
So
I'm sure they're interested.
yeah, we will.
Free dice? Nah, nobody wants free dice.
Especially Die Hard dice. Oh my gosh, yes they do. Anyway,
Well, thank you so
you
much
go.
to Die Hard Dice. Y'all are amazing, and roll with the best.
Indeed.
That's the camera. Okay. Sorry, that was rude. There. Disney point.
There.
All right. Thank you so much, Tessa. And as we are playing our game, you, as we said, can contribute to the chaos. Please take a look at our rotation. Or Tessa, I think we've got the little screen to show the
Yes, why
what
don't
you
I
can
just
pay.
pop that right up for you?
So tipping our show will allow you to add a little chaos into our game. So if you like to have a little bit of say in what sort of shenanigans the Shenanigoons get up to, you can certainly absolutely. You can tip the show for a number of different effects that directly impact the show pretty damn immediately. So if you would like to, if you tip the show, you can find it in the link, which I'm gonna put in the chat right now. There you go. So any bits donated during the game are gonna get converted into copper for the party's in-game emergency fund, which is, or no, yeah. So 1 bit equals a copper. We just keep track to see how much money we eventually get. And we have a number of tip options. If you tip $5, you will add a reroll to the party's reroll pool, which is just a group of d20s that they can use at any point if they need to bend the whims of fate to their favor. If you donate, or if you tip us $15, you get to spin on the Wheel of Causality. The Wheel of Causality is a lovely device that causes mayhem for both the characters and the players, as there are a lot of meta things they have to do based on who you would like to target with the Wheel of Causality. And then at $25, which we've already had at least one of these during the game, you can help me by creating an NPC to appear during the session. I need a name, the appearance of the person, their pronouns, and a fun detail. You can put all that in your comment when you tip the show. And finally, tipping $50 will give the Shenanigoon of your choice DM powers for 30 seconds. We have not tried that yet. I'm sure it'll go great. But those are all the ways that you can help contribute to the chaos during our game. Please check out all of our options and consider making a donation today. Anyway, I think that's all we got, so let's get going. And Mouse, you've been able to make it. Hooray, we're so happy. Let's do a really quick recap. It's been a couple weeks, so let's talk about what happened in chapter 12. Last time on Shenanigoons, the party arrived in the city of En-Chanterelle. En-Chanterelle being a city in the shadow of a mountain, quite literally in a side crater in a mountain, where a bunch of goblin and goblinoid folk all live in kind of a mushroom-based economy. The group ended up at a tavern, which was called Madcaps. Madcaps is a place where you could get all sorts of bizarre drinks, and where we learned that the motto of the city of Chanterelle, at least right now, is all alcohol is poison. They had a few interesting drinks, some of a more umami persuasion, while Harland discovered the beauteous visage of an orcish woman who was currently trouncing people in a bit of an arm wrestling competition. Katora Youngtaker, a very popular arm wrestling champion of the region, Harland proceeded to buy the lady a drink and chat her
with
up, as
with her
well as
money. Bought it with her
with
money.
her money. Yeah, but
She
offered
bought the
to
drink.
acquire the drink.
Yeah, that's
Brought a
true.
drink to her.
Yeah, brought her a drink. While at the same time engaging in an arm wrestling competition with her. Gave her a little bit of a run for her money and impressed her. She took it quite well. Did beat you in the end, but more than happy to hang out with you all. And Kat ended up being a very pleasant new acquaintance for the lot of you, including being aware of Paru, who apparently had a bit of a reputation in town, as she was whisked away to the reacclimation center that you all met at a very young age, and made a bit of a stir. There was almost a people's revolution because of that, of which you have also been shown the mural on the wall, which is basically Paru in the place of the little girl on the Les Mis poster. It's a memorial. Not only do most people not know if you are alive, you've only been gone for a few, maybe a week.
Like a couple of days,
In the
yeah.
yes, in the material realm, you've only been gone for a little while, but in the interim, they've made a mural of you in your honor. And you all added little affectations to it, I believe, or like messed around with it a bit. Uh, but you also found out that your parents were given a little bit of a social trouncing, as it were. They were berated a bit for not only just letting, but potentially even ratting out their daughter's more eccentric behavior, which put her in the eye of the Mechanist Authority. So, but the reason you were here, of course, was to reunite with your family, get a lay of the land, decide if this is even a place you wish to be or be connected to again, or if you want to go back to the book.
I'm just hoping that
So-
maybe my connection to the Gabo Yaga will pop up at some point, since this is where I first heard her voice.
Yes,
You
it
asked
is
me to
where you
remind you
first
about
heard
that,
my
so.
voice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So you all made the journey with an invitation to hang out at Kat's. We're gonna call it a bungalow right now, but like Kat's place. If you need a place to stay and don't decide you want to stay with the Masruma family, but you make your way deeper into the city and head out towards the mushroom farms. And on your way, you see a number of things. One, you see a bunch of mechanist creatures, a bunch of monodrones, modrons and duodrons, orb-like mechanical creatures, and little. They look like, for me, in my head, they look like the binary robots from Reboot. The big round and the big stocky ones. It's exactly what I think they look like, and that's either exactly what Reboot was riffing off of when they made the binaries, or anyway, I'll have to find pictures. But you found a bunch of them tilling the land in a very inefficient and kind of industrialized manner. It wasn't really a way that was going to allow for the mushrooms to grow back. It was just kind of scraping the land and seeing what happened, which upset Paru a little bit, more so than just harvesting mushrooms in the first place, but not doing it very elegantly as well. You also encountered a sniper in the hiding in a on top of a shed, and Paru proceeds to introduce Chim, her little brother, who was slinging slugs with a slingshot at you all, smacked Harlan in the back of the neck with one. But Chim, after being a little surprised at his older sister being his much bigger older sister, took you home. And you encountered your mother, Vitriga, who had a very stilted reaction to your arrival. Honestly, based on the fact that Oliette was sort of spying on her brain most of the time, it seems that Vitriga might just be a little overwhelmed. Understandably so, but even more so because of the way that you all left things. Suddenly being confronted with your daughter after that sort of thing happened, and she has apparently lived a life that is quite an experience for a mother to have. And when we left, your father had arrived, and it was partially he was in a bad mood because he'd been debating slash arguing with with your with the farming monodrones that were in your family's yard. And so you were face to face with your father, who I'm pulling his name up now because I didn't have it. Strigo. A very long-faced sort of goblin. So, very, very important. I totally forgot this as a plot point. Oliette got an instrument from a big monkey man who was very intimidating, but very soft, apparently. And she now is in possession of a goblin designed, or a sort of goblin-ish instrument that does two tones in sort of a flute.
An ebony wood. How'd you say it? Tsuur?
A tsuur. Tsuur. It's
I don't know who that man was, but I love him and I will die for him.
I don't know his name either. He was just the craftsman.
He was perfect.
The crafts ape? I don't know. He was a big yeti.
He's perfect.
He was very cool. And Oliette will eventually just have a band with him if things don't work out here.
As one does.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna make Haru's father Strigo. I just want to make sure I have that in the notes. Right. So, when last we left, your father had arrived. Your mother told him to sit down. We have to talk.
Yeah.
And you all were getting ready for dinner.
Yep. So yeah, Paro, I think if I remember, had stood up and had her hat here and was just nervously waiting for him to sit down.
So we're gonna fast forward a few minutes to the dinner.
Yes, that works.
Your mother does a little bit of explaining.
Mm-hmm.
She sort of lets you all take the lead after a while. We're just gonna T-pose Beza this episode rather than sending her somewhere. Yeah. Unless combat starts, then I'll figure out how to send her somewhere.
So it's like we're gonna be walking and Beza's gonna be there, and then we'll turn and Beza's just right there again. Is it gonna be one of those you just turn, she's just there? Yeah, great. I love it.
Horrifying.
It's horrifying.
It's Busto from Carboys. Just oh god, she's there. So you guys have dinner. It is a bunch of goblins sitting at a very long table. It's noisy. It's very obvious to see how a young, sort of out of sorts little goblin girl could get a little lost in the shuffle in such a very big family. Vitriga is... she's the authority to some degree. Is sort of correcting or kind of hollering down the table for people to stop throwing food or being general nuisance. There's a huge swath of ages in the family for goblins. There are, as I had said before, Vitriga has a baby strapped to her. This sort of bizarre gurgling big-headed goblin kid that is Paru's most recent sibling. And yeah, there's just a whole bunch of kids and probably a few aunts and uncles, just a kind of a sort of a blend of the family. And they're all introduced to the fact that their little Paru, who had been whisked away because of her tendencies that were a bit antithetical to the family business, specifically trying to rescue mushrooms because mushrooms were friends, not food, which is absolutely not what you were taught.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
But you were sent away, and now you're back, and you are a full-grown adult, which is a very weird thing for most of the Masruma family to wrap their head around. Your father, when this is all explained, kind of spends a bit of dinner. He sort of like does this little like sort of processing nod as things are explained, and he's a bit stone-faced. And no offense to Beza. And as the dinner kind of rattles on, it seems like food becomes the primary event. And even though it is very bizarre what happened to Paru, this has only been a few days, and so the kids and folks are just like, food! And it gets a little, like, raucous. But Paru, as dinner goes on and food gets passed around, and it to some degree, it almost feels like maybe things are normal, and they took it very well. On the other hand, it also feels a little like maybe the importance of what happened has been a little,
like
maybe not ignored, maybe just not grasped. They might just not understand how to handle what you've described. And as far as you've described it, it was a work release program.
Yeah.
It was not an accident that resulted in you aging. You went on a trip and time worked differently, and then you came back. They just sort of accept it.
I think it still hurts a little bit that it feels like on some level nothing changed, even though Paru did. I think the idea that
and everything changed for you.
Yeah. And it's still like,
but
everything's the same.
Yeah, kind of feels like that. Harland and Aliette, you just see a family that's just sort of like, okay. and feasting, though Aliette, you have a bit more insight because of what you heard from her mother. But Paru, as dinner is continuing on, you do note at a certain point, you look at your mother, and you see her juggling a child and the other children at the table. There is no kids' table here. Everywhere is kids' table.
Yes.
And that causes a lot of chaos. And there's just this din over everything. Harland, you're getting asked questions like, why are you so tall? Or like, things of that caliber. You're getting kid questions. Sure. But you can barely hear them. Everything's just very loud, and anyone who asks you a question also gets distracted by doing something else, and it's just a cacophony going on.
Are the kids speaking common, or are they speaking goblin?
It's actually they're kind of code switching on you a little bit. You're catching like half the words. It's like Spanglish, but with goblin.
It's gonna be Warrior, where he's just like sitting around a campfire with the Vikings, and then all of a sudden it's just speaking their language. It's just like just switching back and forth. I love it.
Yeah, like once in a while they'll just drop a word they don't know the word for in common, and so you're getting this sort of like, you don't speak goblin, do you?
No.
Yeah, so you're hearing occasionally. Sometimes you'll ask them to repeat it in common. But Paru, at a certain point during the dinner, you've noticed that you saw your mother, but then you also notice your father, who's a little bit diagonal to you across the table. And he's still kind of reclining. He's sipping his drink, and he's actually like paying quiet attention to you. He's sort of watching you a little bit with and he's got resting grump face. It's always very hard to read him, but he is sort of considering you with a bit of a quiet, calm. Not angry, just seems like maybe he's actually taking that moment to
think,
absorb a little bit.
She'll let him think on it for a minute and just turn to her mom for a moment. Do you want a hand with everything? I know you've got your... Do you want me to take the little one?
I would never say no to a little help, thank you.
So she'll reach out for the baby.
Yeah, just unwrap, hand you the... And there's just like just drool.
And just kind of
there's not enough teeth, and you're not sure that's ever going to change.
Yeah. And she'll conjure like a little glowing flower with some druid craft to like...
I was going to say, do not give the baby mushrooms.
No. She purposely does not conjure any sort of mushroom. She just makes a little like purple glowing flower to keep the baby's attention for a little bit. So
yeah, you're my brain was like, roll animal handling. That's not correct.
That's not how it works, Angela.
It's not. It's really not.
Roll baby handling.
That's fine. It's close people handling is just persuasion.
Oh, we had a little switch here.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Do we need to hop out and hop?
No. Okay. I can move people around. Don't worry about it.
Click and drag the Kyle.
Yep.
Hi,
you're all in now.
The internet just died.
Oh no.
That's helpful.
So we are so you get to see the you get to see that sort of little consideration from your dad.
That makes her feel good.
Yeah, and when you do, if you do make contact, like eye contact with him, he sort of gives you a little smile, a little nod.
Yeah, she does, especially after making the flower appear, because it's very small and, something she figured she could get away with doing that wouldn't, like, alarm people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I was going to say, Olia, you get a lot of questions, too, from the kids, because you are, like, a local legend right now, as you are currently disguised as Katura Youngtaker. For whatever nefarious purpose, one can only guess. Chim, who has been enamored with the idea of this kick-ass wrestler being at the house, continues his barrage of, do you remember when you fought the guy with the one eye and you told him, I'll give you something to blink about, and you remember that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you remember that part where yeah,
sure.
Just get more of this. And I don't know why that just supremely amuses me, but it does. But yeah, Chim is just like, it's like how dogs bark and you're like, how do you not have a sore throat? Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you have more examples, Chim? Mm-hmm. How do you have more things in your brain right now? So yeah, Chim just continues doing that. And so you all get very well fed. It's a notably you can't really avoid the fact that there's mushrooms in a lot of it. She was able to avoid it. Your mother was able to avoid it in the snacks.
Yeah,
that she offered you, but dinner had already been planned.
Sorry, Haru doesn't say anything. She just.
Your mother does make sure to be like, well, there's like a root salad and there's other things that she makes sure to get passed along to you. There's a extra layer of awkwardness with the, okay, I'm gonna make sure, like, this is a very recent thing. I remember this is a thing.
I want to lean over to Paru and just be like, what kind of dressing is in that salad?
I think it's
a low calorie
vinaigrette of some kind. Low cal, definitely.
There's no cream in it, right?
No cream.
Okay.
I hate her so much. Sometimes, just sometimes. Mostly when food's involved.
I know. I know.
It's fine.
I'll take some of the root salad. I probably won't mess with very much else.
Okay.
Dad, I noticed the new farmhands are not very helpful.
The buckets of bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they strolled on up and said they had efficiency practices to implement.
Efficiency practices that completely destroyed the replantability of the crop. Doesn't seem very efficient.
Said something about bringing new crops in that'll grow better, or said something about engineering. I don't know what that has to do with farming, but sure.
What's gonna grow better in the Underdark than mushrooms? That's strange.
Mechanical mushrooms. That's your dad's version of a joke.
Yeah, she kind of.
And his little quirk of a smile. He only gives like a sixth of an expression when a whole expression would do.
Yeah.
Is this one of those guys that's like, if he goes, you're in trouble?
Yeah. Yeah. He just did that. He did suck his teeth at the mention of the farmhands.
Are they giving you trouble, or are they just here?
And your mother chimes in. They want to touch the farm, so that's a yes. They are giving him trouble.
Well, granted. Harland, do you think any of the improvements that your sister has implemented over at your place, do you think we could, is there anything we could mock up here that might keep them out of Dad's hair?
Well, it certainly appears that she is getting mushrooms to grow places where they shouldn't. So I'm sure that asking her wouldn't hurt anything.
One second, I
don't know much.
I trust him.
Dark, with most of our work.
Your wingless Tressum.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Or her name is Buttons tonight. We'll just, oh god, Buttons is probably on the table at this point. She's like
looking at all the food. Yeah. So I mean, at a certain point,
in pieces or something.
Just like peering over, looking at all the food, which does attract the attention of several of your younger siblings. They very much want to play with Buttons, like put them in a circle and like I don't know, they don't know what to do with them. Like just string. What do you do? What do you play with? The lizard.
Can you be good? All right. Extra food if you're good. No bites.
So he just crawls off, and you see like 6 of the kids just run off their chairs and
be careful with him.
They're giggling. And eventually you see that one of them gently picked him up, and he's just sort of draped, and they're putting him like on the couch.
That'll work. That'll work. And
one of them opens up his pocket, and there's just lots of scraps of food.
Oh, he's a happy boy then.
Yeah. They're making friends. So yeah, there's a few of the older kids. I mean, most of your siblings are older than you.
Or they were.
They were. Well, that's just a very, very odd.
Yeah.
In general situation. And so yeah, you're there with a few of your oldest, and one of them a brother of yours, which I don't have names for
Don't
any
worry
of
about
them.
it.
So they're just nondescript. Mushruma sibling number 1 says,
We're lucky that that's not actually our names. 1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5 through.
Oh, please. It's A, B, C, D, E.
See, they got to P by the time they got to me, so everybody's just alphabetized.
Yeah, just alphabetized.
Chim is spelled X.
Your poor mom.
CH.
Chim is with an X.
Yeah.
Adore it.
Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine at this point it's probably been about an hour.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So I do want
excuse yourself.
Yeah, I need to step outside.
Of course,
and just
of course.
make some tough girl excuse. I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta do some push-ups.
I'm gonna do some push-ups on the porch real quick. I'll be right back.
Jim's like, can I help you count?
Nope, you absolutely can't. I'll be right back.
You remember that time you won that push-up contest?
I'm just gonna like yeet out of there. But I will say when I'm out there, I would like to just do a quick survey because Aliette is paranoid at this point that they've been followed. By who even knows what. Last time
by anything.
She thought she was drinking margs and there was a paper dragon. So
yeah, that's fair.
She at this point is like on high alert. So just like wants to scan as best as she can in her tiefling form, like tucked away in a shadow before she turns back into cat.
Sure. So you go find there's piles of well, we're in a mushroom farm. You find like a pile of compost that is very tall, that you can hide behind. You asked, Joliet. And
you could have just excused yourself to the ladies' room, but nope, you wanted to go outside.
The compost heap is off to the side of what looks to be a several pigs that are just eaten. And you shift back into your normal form, which doesn't really feel different for you. It's mostly your appearance that was changing, not your physicality.
Right.
But you look down, you see your skin is back to that sort of like dark blue, and you cast an eye out. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you're paying attention to anything that might stick out to you.
12.
12. So you hear the slight whirring of that harvest machine that the monodrones are pushing around. And you kind of glance around, you see them in one of the fields just sort of like tearing up mushrooms and lichen, things that were sort of grown in tandem with each other, just all getting pulled up together. Maybe even like out of season. It's all sorts of messy. And you see the pigs. You catch a glimpse of a few more goblins running around, like some of the kids that didn't make it into the count for dinner. They could be cousins. Who knows? They're not necessarily all Paru's direct siblings. But you definitely get the sense of Paru was raised in a very large, very loud family that can... In the way that Harlan's felt homey, Paru's feels like you could get lost in it. It's a different vibe. There's not as much of a, like, there's a lot of us and everyone is special. This is more like, there's a lot of us and we got shit to get done, so, like, make sure you stay out of trouble.
Gotcha.
So there's a couple of these. Not really a thing. But as you cast an eye out, you see some of the edges of the farm. You see a couple of really overgrown root systems, almost like gives you almost the implied idea of like a forest on the edge of a farm, but it's all just underground roots, and it looks almost like a briar patch kind of thing. It's very like... very twisty, very not very welcoming looking.
Okay.
And you look down the road, you see a couple of dots of lanterns, and it's like perpetual dusk here, if not a little darker. And you don't see anything that strikes you as, oh god, we're getting chased by something.
Okay. Cool. Just gotta check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll cast it again and head back inside.
Okay, so back to Cat. You check yourself in like a glass window to just kind of like,
okay, I get it.
Taller,
I get
taller.
it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, ooh, this might be nice in a given a situation. I don't know.
But do I want to work
you
for
don't
it?
feel
No.
it. You don't feel it. You actually like see your hand kind of open.
Go in.
Don't touch what's not there. Okay. And you continue back inside, where a conversation is continuing about the various things that have happened around Chanterelle and the adjacent areas of the Chronicle. And your father is actually getting a little chatty, Paru, about some of the things that have been happening.
That was her goal. She wanted to try and engage him since he seems to actually kind of be taking everything in. Yeah.
So the so when they all showed up, the mechs, they decided that they would be of better use helping with the administration of the Chronicle. So they sent out a bunch of farm hands, as you saw. They're tracking output, seeing how efficient the farms are, and if you're gonna be under your allotted delivery for the year, they will help with efficiency practices.
Seems like messing with nature doesn't necessarily lead to continued ongoing growth. Sometimes you have bad years in order for good years to come. But I suppose...
Yeah, well, tried to explain that to them, and they didn't really seem very keen on the concept of irregularity.
The farmland going fallow is pretty par for the course. Let the soil reconstitute itself. Otherwise, it just doesn't anymore.
You ever try explaining patience to a fellow with a ratchet for a brain?
I've never tried.
That's what I've been spending the last hour doing. So, have at it.
All right, then.
All right. Do you actually leave?
Sure.
Okay. So, Harlan, you head out the door, and Paru, your dad's like, well, shit, I didn't think he'd actually do it.
He's very literal. This is either going to be hilarious or it'll work. So one of the two will happen.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
And so he gets up, and your mother's like, don't die, anyone, please.
If anyone gets hurt, I will make sure that they are healed immediately.
And she kind of looks like, all right.
Picked up a little bit of skill there.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
My friend Sniffs and I got into quite a few scraps. Had to learn quick.
Sniffs and scraps, yeah.
Yeah. She just kind of smiles and heads out after them. Do not mention the fact that Sniffs was a giant mushroom.
Oh, of course. And you hand the baby back off.
Yeah.
And she's like, thank you.
Of course.
You kind of get the sense of like, oh, this weight is back. She straps him back in.
I'll take him back later, don't worry.
So you follow out to the back where Harlan is, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. And we're gonna slow me down. Gonna talk to some Modrons. So you head over.
Oh my god.
To this.
I'm so afraid right now.
You march across the farmland, which is this really dark, peaty soil. And you see some of the streaks in the soil, and you head towards these round creatures whirring with gears and mechanical parts, and you see little glowing yellow eyes, not little, very large glowing yellow eyes, one on each of them, and then a couple that have two eyes, which is great, and they're sort of more elongated shaped, but they're all straight angles and wobbly a little bit with their arms, and they're pushing this what seems to be a self-locomoting harvester, but they're trying real hard to like continue navigating it. It moves forward, and you have to like turn it and stuff. So it's a bit of a. You can see that maybe they could use some help with that, as one of them's kind of like vibrating. So it's kind of moving forward with this tractor thing. And so so you approach these. They'll say there's like maybe 4 of them. 3 Modrons and a Duodron, and so go ahead and approach them, Harlan.
Now I say, who's in charge? Who's in charge here?
You see 2, 3, 4, 5. You see 5 eyes turn to you. 1, 2, 3, and then 2. And they all look back at each other, and the Duodron kind of trots over with all of the sea legs of a baby duck on an ocean liner. I just try to walk towards you in the dirt.
That's a mental picture.
You're welcome. It's where my brain went today. So it looks at you, and it kind of like assesses you, and it has to look pretty high up to get to you. It's probably about half your height. And the Duodron is like, I'm in charge of this team. What do you need?
Well, I was hoping to discuss with you the concept of letting farmland go fallow, in that it will actually improve the overall efficiency of the farmland.
We have assessed the general efficiency of this farm and have decided that it is far simpler simply to collect. Thank you for your input.
Simple doesn't necessarily mean efficient.
Efficiency in terms of my brain, not him. He is completely like motor mouthed. We have determined, thank you again for your input, that it would be most efficient for the purposes of this land use to simply collect. Thank you.
Well, so see, if you just collect from it in the way that you're doing, obviously it is working. You are collecting. I do see that, and I acknowledge it. But I must say that
you're getting more and more foghorn. Please continue.
I must say that efficiency, I do believe, is less work. Am I right? That you have.
Are you the proprietor of this farmland?
I am absolutely not.
Thank you for your input. And it turned around.
More of a traveling consultant on farmland efficiencies.
Have you been hired by the Mechanist Authority to provide such consultation?
I've been hired by... Well, that's an excellent question.
What is the answer to that question?
The answer is that the Mechanist Authority must certainly know of who I am, and if they do not...
That is an insufficient answer. Were you hired by the Mechanist Authority to provide such consultation?
Not here.
Thank you for your input. It turns around, continues wobbling.
To one, it must apply to another. It's hardly unique land here. It's growing food.
You continue talking, occasionally shuffling to follow this duodron. He is no longer listening to you.
Harlan will continue, like, basically
just following this whole group, trying to proselytize.
Basically, yeah, like parroting the things his parents have said
crop rotation
about farming, like maybe things that he's heard at the. At
My mama always said that life was like a box of chocolates.
That's why peanuts are simply the best answer for what you have. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. You just kind of watch them motor away.
Help your assistance. Well, yes, but what's to prevent it from happening again on the morrow? Or just continuing to happen if fellas don't sleep? Why, yes, it would. It'd be terribly inefficient to keep retreading your path. That sounds like a lot of work, and you're not getting anything done.
It also sounds like a way deeper statement than Harlan meant it to be.
Pari also forgot to unmute herself, so that was probably... Sorry about that.
He doesn't know when he's being profound.
Yeah. So if we were to simply wait for them to be done, we could just fix it when they're gone, and Dad could go back to planting his field exactly as he likes to in preparation for the morrow, and they'll have thought they've done a job well done, and they'll leave you alone. She turns to her dad, and at least everything will be fixed, and you can go back to normal tomorrow.
Sounds like something that could get you into a spot of trouble with the authorities. There's a bit of a sour look on his face. Little grimace of regret, maybe, on his face.
Yeah, it potentially could, but again, is having a working farm more important than having to deal with Bucket for Brain over there?
He kind of turns. He said, yeah, all right.
It's also subtle, and we don't need to do it while they're here. We could just do it later.
Oh, they're gonna be here for... And he looks down the way, kind of doing a little mental math. Probably another couple hours at the rate they're going.
Okay, so we wait a couple hours, and we fix it when they're gone. And tomorrow the farm is as it was. They've got their percentage yield or whatever they're looking for. And it'll slow you down by... When did you plant? I'm sorry, it's been... can't remember how long.
It's been about a 3-month stretch this time.
You'll lose a couple of months, but not too bad. I can't do a lot of spores,
but I don't want to put you out for, free labor and all. You say spores?
Yeah, sorry. I've got some druid training while I was gone.
Fancy.
Yeah.
And you should see a dance.
Nobody needs to see that. Besides, my dancing partner is, yeah. Anyway, she's trying really hard not to think of sniffs right now, because, like, being underground and used around the mushroom, she's like,
yeah,
I really could use a bud. Yeah, nothing fancy or anything, but I mean, I'm not talking about anything that would upset the natural order of things. Any more than what they're doing.
Well, I wouldn't say no to the help.
What do you think, Harlan? Think we can knock it out when they're done?
I think that I am no stranger to hard work, and I would be willing to put in the labor. After so fine a meal, I must say. Oh, I am just plumb full of what did you say that golden yellow stuff was? What is it?
That would have been Mom's mushroom casserole.
The mushroom casserole. Phenomenal. My compliments to the chef. It was
the pollen's what gives it the yellow flavor.
Pollen. Right. Mm-hmm.
The yellow flavor.
Well, let's get back inside before they get around the bend and hear us planning, so.
I mean, if you don't mind, I think that I was really getting through to them.
If you want to, buddy, go for it.
Perfect. Miss Cat.
Oh, I swear that
Ma'am.
Boy has gone practically moon-eyed.
Now, I'll say, I was just going into the...
Are you the proprietor of this farmland? I sound a little panicked at this point. You just watch as Harlan just very casually walks with his finger up trying to get their attention, and you watch them like trying to push a little harder. It's very like droids in Phantom Menace. like pod racing droids. Like,
oh my god. Paro just shakes her head.
He might actually speed them up a little bit.
Yeah, honestly. It's weird to be back. It doesn't feel like anything's changed, but at the same time, everything's different.
Well, when you get taller, you get a different perspective on things.
I'll have to ask Harlan how he sees things. She kind of gives him that little half grin. That they both... I think that's a trait that she probably gets from her dad.
Yeah,
the same
it looks
like
his.
little quirk of...
Yeah. Except you don't have nearly as grumpy a neutral face as Strigo does.
Or nearly quite so many sharp teeth.
He kind of looks and is like, well, you know, you're welcome to take your ease till the whatever you're gonna do.
Well, thank you.
Don't gotta go running off or anything.
I appreciate that.
And he sort of kicks the ground a little bit, puts his hands in his pockets. You know, they went roaming around looking for other abnormalities, they called them.
Sure.
Asking around, poking around, but didn't tell him nothing about your little hidey spot.
Thank you. It's funny, I was just about to ask you if it was still there. It's only been 3 days for you.
He nods out to the distance where there's the briar vines sort of heading out there.
Maybe I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, I didn't go in or nothing. I know how girls get with their stuff.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I missed you.
You feel a little, you feel him kind of sidle up next to you. Missed you too, Sprout.
He would have really liked the person who taught me. She was a farming. Her name was the Queen of the Vine, and she.
Is that a family name?
No, just her title. She had a really good, strong farming community. Taught me a lot.
What kind of crop?
Corn mostly. Yeah, it was a little sunny.
Little face.
A little sunny for mushrooms.
A little tall.
Well, yeah, that too. But yeah.
Yeah, but to each their own.
Yeah. She was something. She taught me quite a few good things, and mainly how to work with the land that you're given. So it's important. Anyway, I'm gonna go check out my hidey spot, but I'll be back as soon as these yahoos are done and look at this fixed up.
Sounds like a smart plan you got there.
Sometimes they happen.
You don't get that from me.
I don't know, I think I might.
Oh, God damn it, that's a fence! You ingrates.
Oh, I'll fix that.
You just see like like stuck on a fence. Harlan, he watches these poor little round dudes don't know how to turn a corner.
Oh.
Harlan, being the helpful sort that he is try to like help the handles like to kind of turn around, but in the wrong direction to like get it like. So what you got to do is you got to kind of lever it off the opposite direction of what you'd expect. You know,
you have not been properly trained in the use of this equipment.
It doesn't look like you have either.
Oh, Lordy.
That is beside the point.
And we're on an playing field, and I'm more than happy to try to get it caught.
And there's just a Modron hanging from the machine as you're like holding it up.
Your sister would be horrified right now.
I do not have a sister.
I think that she'd be proud.
Terrorizing a little robot. I don't know. You have to make that judgment on your own, Paru.
It's like I forget what cartoon it was in, but it's like, you know, someone trying to do good deeds and helping this old woman across the street, and she's like, I didn't want to go across the street.
Yes, exactly.
This person's kidnapping me.
Unhand me, you ruffian.
So
he either
Paru
needs more of the moonshine that we had or less of it. I'm not entirely sure which has gone to his brain.
So Oliette, you are you're there with Paru. Paru, you start heading for the Briar?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
You wanna come?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I thought I was inside this whole time. I would have been popping off. But I'm gonna say I just sauntered out here.
You heard the whirring of like shaking of machinery, and you see Harlan like trying to pry a Modron off the
I'm not even gonna touch
off the tractor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with I can't. But yeah, I mean, sure. Let's check it out.
All right. This way.
So
it's really dark over there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Just hold on to my. Just tell me what I'm looking for and hold on to my.
Hold on, my strong arm.
I was gonna say my tutu, but if you hold on to something that no one else can see, it might look a little weird. But just stay close.
Yeah, I'll just stay close. So there's an opening in the briar. It'll look kind of small because 3-year-old goblin found it. So it'll be low to the ground, and there should be a small red twine wrapped around one of the vines.
Okay, so I will look for that.
Luckily, it has only been 3 days, technically, since it passed, so the only limiting factor here is Paru's memory for where it is, not whether or not it's still visible. And it takes a little bit. It takes a few minutes for you to, like, kind of scour. She gets the basic, like, within a 60-foot...
Yeah, it's somewhere in here.
Stretch.
I also can't see, so...
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I used to have like a torch or something that you'd bring, and our lantern.
Yeah.
And so you have this little moment of you and Oliette sort of scouring this not super spiky, but twisty and a little rough vining, twisting all around. It reminds you a little bit of. I mean, you. Oliette, it's no wonder that Paru sort of took to the region in the book that she did. It's very reminiscent.
Meanwhile, I'm like, ow.
You can't see right now, but the tulle in my skirt is a mess. And so you both kind of rummage around until one of you finds the little end of red thread tied to a rather thick vine, almost like a tree branch sort of thickness.
Bingo.
Oh, excellent. Are we well hidden from the Modrons at this point?
They're very distracted.
I'm gonna go ahead and release just a teeny bit of spores just so I can see.
Sure. You see the little dust mites of blue. Blue?
It varies between blue, purple, and green depending on my mood at the time.
Well, we'll say blue. We'll say blue right now.
Yeah.
And you just have this sort of like dust particles in the air. Very ethereal, very pretty. And you both take a little bit of effort to kind of wedge yourselves in beyond what a 3-year-old goblin would be able to get into. And
which is surprisingly a lot.
But you kind of peel back the I mean, honestly, with a little bit of druidcraft, you might even be able to urge them a little bit apart.
She probably does to help.
So twist them around, give a little bit of an adult-sized pathway to be able to. Probably gonna have to crawl.
Yeah,
a little bit, just a little bit. And as you kind of make your way through, it takes about a minute to get through, and you're a number of feet into the brush at this point. You can't see the farm. Hold on one sec. I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, bless you.
Got that mute button just in time. You spend about a minute sifting through, and you arrive in a tiny little clearing. Looks very much like, I mean, if you've ever been a kid or known a kid that played outside, it's very much got that like playhouse sort of vibe to it. The idea of, I mean, Paro, how much have you talked to them about your connection to the Baba Yaga? Baba Yaga.
I would think that Oliette is probably the person she's talked to the most about it, given that Oliette had her own
brush
concussion.
With voices in her head. Her own concussion. Paru shared her story of her concussion.
Oh, such simple times. How young we were.
How young.
And unaware of basic medical information. So this idea of this image, this mental image of this little 3-year-old goblin finding this space and doing what kids do, you know, make a little table, make a little like tea set or something. It actually kind of looks a little like an altar.
Oh, there is absolutely like a little Gaba Yaga doll that she created out of scraps of things.
It's like walking into someone's childhood room. Huh, okay. And they were a weird kid.
I just remembered as you were describing this that I actually did have a hollowed out space in a thorn bush of all things that I made into like a little clubhouse as a kid. So my brain just went, you did this.
Yeah, this is perfect. So yeah, there's just like this little, like, there's a couple of little like vine stumps that have been sort of shaved down, a little roughly, you know, like whatever a kid could get a hold of from the shed. Crawl in here with. There's even a pair of like shears on the side where it's like she forgot to bring those back.
Yeah.
They were just the things she used to create this little space. And so yeah, you're in this incredibly familiar yet incredibly foreign place, Paru. It's been years since you've touched this place, and you think to the idea of, you know, being connected, feeling like you weren't by yourself, being able to be in that quiet of solitude without feeling alone. And that was a very special thing for you as a kid. So you're just kind of in this little space, and it's a little eerie being back, being so different, not feeling that connection in a very long time, but sort of getting a little bit of a throwback.
It's weird being back here, but also really nice at the same time.
Did you ever tell any of your siblings about this, or did you ever tell them what you were, you know, about this? Just kind of motioning uselessly towards this shrine.
I tried. I you know, I think everybody's kind of chalked it up to the whole, you know, kids have imaginary friends thing. But I don't know of anybody whose imaginary friend, you know, talked to them the way the Gaba Yaga did for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
She kind of like absent-mindedly picks up the little doll and brushes off a little bit of dirt. It's so funny to think this was only 3 days ago for all of them. It's a lifetime ago.
Yeah, I've been trying not to think about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
next time you should get on Mark duty. It'll help. It'll help so much.
Mark duty sounds good. I mean, the nice thing is this whole, you know, work program seems to have helped that. So maybe that's a good way for your uncle to be introduced to it. Is a, you know, immersive program. It seems to have helped a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. This is Paru time. We don't even. Let's just fuck feelings. Like, let's focus on you, which I realize is absolutely foreign to hear come out of my mouth. But we're here, so let's just.
Oh, Leah, that's foreign for me to hear coming out of anybody's mouth. What exactly is Paru time?
I mean, what's left for you here? Are you gonna? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to move back? Like, let's pretend that they who shall not be named, who hath broken all of our hearts, let's say that they weren't a factor. Would you want to stay here?
No.
So what do you want to do next?
I don't know. Literally the only thing, I mean, I care about my family, but the only real peace that I feel is here, in this room, here, and with Modrons climbing all around this place. No, I don't want to be here. I miss the book.
We can go back any time. We can go back.
And if we go back, what happens? This world is potentially destroyed, and then the book. We were sent back for a reason.
Do you think it's... I mean, okay. Yes, this is sacrilege, but honestly, do you really think that... What is the guy's name again? The Lord of the Tail? The Lord of the... Lord of the Tail?
The Lord of Tales.
Lord of Tales. I think he's going to destroy the world, or is he just going to, like, want to be on top?
I don't know that there's a difference in his brain. Because how many times did he remake the story? Over and over again. What's to stop him from destroying it and recreating and destroying and recreating?
To get existential, but that's going to happen anyway.
She looks down at the little doll in her hand. I don't know, Gabo Yaga. What do you think we should do?
Can I use Mage Hand to try to... the doll out of her... just to mess with her a little?
I mean, she'd probably see the Mage Hand, but you could do it anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not necessarily like a stealthy secret thing. I just want to, like, kind of shake her out of her. I mean, what if we found Gabo Yaga for real, though?
That would be amazing. If we found Gabo Yaga...
What a party.
I would definitely want to throw a party if we found the Gabo Yaga for real.
I feel like somebody who has a house on legs knows how to rage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, why don't we just be like,
peace
see
out.
if they can help? Yeah, I mean, we don't have any better leads. We literally have... We have us. We have us four.
Yeah.
And your folks are nice. Harlan's parents are nice. But we don't have any... We don't have any backup. Yeah. Like, if the shit hits the fan, what are they going to do?
My brother can shoot peas at them through his slingshot.
Yeah.
It's not particularly helpful.
I was there.
Or slugs.
Yeah. Or slugs. Thank you. I don't remember what it was. It was slugs. Thank you.
No, definitely slugs.
It was definitely slugs.
But if there's ever peas for dinner, he definitely mashes them up and chucks them in little bowls.
Oh.
So, like, what if we just... I don't know. Honestly, we could skip my uncle's house altogether and just go straight for Gabo Yaga. Like,
is that what you want to do? Oh yeah, you don't want to do. You don't have to go to your uncle's. No one will force you to do something you don't want to do.
That much I know. I just don't... There's just no good way to explain this. My uncle is like... He's not an unkind person, but he... Let's just say that he's never even had a dream of being anything that might get sent to a reclamation center. He is as straight-laced and by the books as could possibly be. I don't know how... I don't think he's... And even if he could get over the ridiculous time skip and the fact that I'm no longer a child...
Yeah, it's hard.
Sorry, my dog had he's having like a
No worries.
Just a shaky fit. See? What am I gonna do with you? Even if he could get over all of that, I don't... It sounds so stupid to say because of how clearly awesome I am, but I don't think he would even get this. This is not who I was supposed to be.
Honestly?
I was supposed to straighten out and come back home and help run the bookstore.
You are way better than whatever he thought you were going to turn into. And if he can't see that, then he doesn't deserve you.
Yes, but also, I don't have a big family like you and Harland. He's literally all I have. So, it's like, I don't know, you're like on your own for so long and you think it's cool, but there's always like that little thing in your back pocket where it's like, if all else failed, you would have this. But if I lose him, I won't have that. So I just gotta wait till the time is right, you know? I gotta wait till it makes sense. Which gives us plenty of time to hunt down this house on legs.
All right. All right. I will say, growing up in a big family, it's interesting. And I have never felt more alone than when I was here. But I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. I get it. But sure. House on legs.
House on legs, yeah. And Beza too. Like Beza, yeah. we gotta check in there. We have plenty of time to avoid being murdered by my ex. You know, it's fine. We got it. It's no big deal.
Hearing it put so bluntly is delightful.
Yeah, I don't know.
Plus, did you see that sweater daddy on the train? Like, maybe we should... That's one other stop we could make.
Sweater daddy.
I wonder if he's still in town. I wonder where he's staying. Is there a tavern here?
Yeah, we
went to a tavern.
Is that the only one?
No,
there's a couple others, but it's the only one that matters.
I mean...
Could you imagine what a hole in the wall in a place like this is like? Just gonna say that.
I did not notice Sweater Daddy.
Oh, you missed out.
I think...
Even if it's not your cup of tea, just aesthetically, just...
All right,
oh,
all right.
God.
Okay, all right. I will have to pay closer attention to Sweater Daddy next time. I'm... Apparently, my tastes run to giant mushroom boys or Harlan's sister.
I mean, she was hot too. I'm like, I am not here to judge. Get yours. Just make sure you get some. You know?
That is the that sounds like the motto of the campaign. Get yours, just make sure you get some.
Amazing. All right. Well, let's head back. She actually puts the doll in her pouch on her belt. I think I'm gonna...
Okay.
This is the last time I'm gonna be here. I think I'm gonna take this with me.
Okay. We should probably get back before Harlan gets... I don't know. I don't even know.
Thrown in a reclamation center?
Yeah. I don't know if he'll be lucky enough the second time around to find the bevy of babes waiting for him.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. As you get ready to go, Oliette, you're like, I need to get the fuck out of here. You start crawling. Paru, you kind of take one little last glance around, just sort of saying your goodbyes to this place that you've outgrown a little bit in many ways. And you look over and you see on one of the stumps, you see this little tea set you made. There's a little steam coming out of it.
I step closer to it.
Take a look. This little clay tea set, and there are 2 cups and a tea kettle, and there's a little bit of steam coming out of the spout.
I pour the tea.
You hold on to this tea kettle and you start pouring into a cup. And there's tea, very dark, pours into the cup. Looks a little not terribly filtered. Part of you goes, it doesn't rain here. It's not like this is full of mucky rainwater.
Yeah.
It's just hot leaf juice. So you pour into one cup?
Juice. Yeah. And I pour.
Do you only pour into the one or
no,
both?
I pour both.
Okay, you pour both, and you see this very dark tea, opaque. You can barely see through it. And you pour in, you see these like leaves sort of floating, other little particulates of loose-leafed tea. It smells earthy but pleasant.
I think if I noticed that Paru wasn't behind me, I'm at least kneeling kind of in the passageway watching from like
She just kind of wandered over and started fiddling. You don't see the details of what she's doing. You just see her back to you.
I wish you were here so I could talk to you. And she takes a little sip from her cup.
Like I said, it's pleasant. You look at the teacups, you see the little tea kettle, and you just like lift the lid, and some steam comes out. And there's nothing in the tea kettle. It's dry.
Okay, I love you, but like, what are you doing? This is
tea.
Huh?
Hot tea in the teacups.
Are you having a stroke?
No.
First a concussion that talks to you, then a tea stroke.
Oh yeah. The teapot is empty, but
like waddle back in.
But it's poured hot tea.
Yeah, Oliette, that's what happens when you pour out tea in a tea kettle.
No, it's dry. Like, it's completely dry on the inside.
Okay.
You just see...
Do I see the tea in the teacups when I get closer?
You just see what could... I mean, yes, it's warm. It's hot tea. It is steaming. Otherwise, you would have definitely gone, maybe you just left them out and there's some murky rainwater in them. Don't drink standing water. God, Paru.
Is this...
There's no reason it would be hot like that.
You didn't do this.
Nope. She passes the other cup to Oliette. I think maybe the Gobble Yaga's listening.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's really fucking good, by the way. She takes another little sip.
That's what she said about the mud water stuff at the tavern.
I mean, Paru, for someone who's used to earthy flavors, it's very good.
Yeah. No, smell it.
That's going to be up.
It actually, smell it first. It doesn't... It's
I'll
hot.
smell it.
Yeah, it's there's a tiny little bit of peatiness to it, and it kind of reminds you a little bit of bourbon. But it's got a little floral on the back end. It's nice. It's very complex, and dark, but very good in the nose.
I don't take a drink of it. I'll smell it, but I don't.
Sure,
that's fine.
Like mystery tea.
How? What are the other ways that the Gobble Yaga talks to you? Or was it always with the tea set?
When I was little, it was always with the tea set, but I'm so mad that I just read chat right now. I mean, I normally have to cut my hair.
I'm sorry, I looked at it.
No, I can't look away.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here I am.
No, it's okay. I lost it too.
You don't have to be. This is all Kyle's fault.
Yeah, normally I sit and I cut my hair. Do you think I should?
Cut your hair right now?
Yeah.
In the dark? I mean...
It's not that dark in here.
Oh, yeah, plenty of your girlfriends have absolutely cut their hairs in times of crisis. It's very cathartic.
I know, and that's why I'm like, let's slow down and think about this. Like, this is your best friend saying you don't need bangs, right? Like, this is me telling you
okay,
that it's gonna be okay.
I don't need to cut a lot of it. I'm talking like a little. She pulls like a little tiny braid from the back, like here where no one will see it. I can cut it.
And then maybe you can get a purple streak in it. That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe. Thinking maybe blue would be nice.
Blue is an excellent color.
It might contrast with the green. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You should do something like a nice, like a vibrant purple, or maybe like a hot pink would be really cool. That aside, you should take this tea set with you.
Okay. I will.
It might be helpful. I don't know. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you're really set on cutting your hair, we can do it in a room where there are lights on.
And scissors.
All right.
Scissors. Not these enormous garden shears.
That's true. That's the only difference there.
You know, I do have a knife. It's a lot. Yeah, it's fine.
No.
I can just cut. Paru, what do you have? A knife! No! Actually, with Paru,
yeah.
a sickle. No! Yeah. So she finishes the tea, and she begins to gently wrap the tea set in some really complex, like some leaves to protect it.
Yeah, you have linen and such, so you can do that definitely. So you you collect. You now have this. For now, in your inventory, just call it a childhood tea set.
All right.
It's a little clay tea set, very simple. It's very possible you made it yourself out of mud.
Oh, I probably did. It's probably like little mushrooms etched into it in the mud where it dried. Because Paru was nothing if not always adhering to a theme.
All right. So as you leave the little briar patch, Harland, roll me a D5000.
Oh Jesus.
Okay.
Just go on Google.
Moment.
Just go on Google and tell it to give you a random number between 1 and 5,000. As your back and forth with the Modrons resulted in, you know, a little bit of a tug of war,
No.
and a bit of a just, you know, a little bit of a heightened heart rate, a little bit of a panic.
Oh no.
And
I'm afraid.
One of the best Rush albums, 2112.
2112. Okay. So as you're tugging this machine, trying to be like, no, I totally can help. What are you talking about? It's fine. Your friend got caught in the machine. Like they're literally caught in the machine. You gotta like let me pry him out. It's like he got his hand caught. You gotta let me. As that all happens, you feel that little sort of shiver down your spine, and you go, oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
And you watch as above you, like some horrible joke from Back to the Future, a pile of compost falls from the sky on top of all of the monodrones and yourself. Just a ton of it. And you are covered in this little mountain of dirt and decay and refuse. And you just hear inside the pile of awful smelling compost, you just hear little like, what is happening? I do not understand. This is not computed for. Are you the proper owner of this pile of compost? Do you have a permit?
Oh.
Now, see, I told you that this might happen if you didn't grease up the mechanism properly. All that oil
That does not make any sense.
all that oil is just gonna bake right out, and it's just trying to like carve his way out of the pile, and just.
Sure.
You said it was
dig your way
dirt.
out. It's compost. It's a mix of dirt and decaying food.
Okay.
And it smells real bad.
So I'd like to modify one of my spells to use mold shit.
Oh my god.
Yes, please. I mean,
And
it's not fertilizer. It's dirt and it's things that can soil. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So he's basically like pushing himself down, like up out of the pile, just like and his arm is sinking in. So he's like, well, this isn't gonna work. And so he uses like mold earth to like harden the thing as he's pushing, and then it's just like, oh yeah, and so as he like pushes himself out, he starts to like harden the entire thing on the outside of it, like try to harden it all.
Are you trapping them in there?
Well, they don't need to breathe.
It's true. It's one of the more innocuous ways to get them all confuddled for a little while.
That's true.
So, as you're all seeing Harland have this like moment of just you all just like sit tight, just walking out of a giant pile of compost. You hear a rustling from behind you both. And you see some of the vines shifting a little bit. Sort of on their own. You think a little like, we should maybe get out of this. And you continue crawling away from the vining. As you turn around to look at it, you see they're kind of coalescing into knots. This vining is moving and is combining, and you watch as this big knot of vining sort of all collects, and it turns up to you, and you see glowing yellow eyes, angry. And that is where we'll take a break. We'll roll initiative when you get back. We're going to take a really quick 5-minute break, and we will be right back with what the hell that was.
All right, I will put up our starting soon video for
yes
for now.
Our little rotation.
Terrified.
Please sit tight. Go do what you gotta do. Drink water. Take a bio break. Do anything you gotta do for the next 5 minutes, and we will be back.
All right, back soon.
And then the tomatoes just happened to be all over the salad, and it was ridiculous.
Oh my god, really?
Oh man, what a story. I can't believe the audience missed it. Oh man.
Good lord. And
You
that's
all
why...
missed such...
Well, you should know better than to look at the salad when you're dressing.
Call me crazy, but I mean, it was just...
Oh my god.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is what you signed up for, so I can't even say anything. This is Shenanigoons, Book of Fables, and we have just taken a break. Thank you. And we're glad you like us, lame. Thank you. So we are in the, not the middle, but in the midst of a potential problem. The party hanging out at Paru's home village, the Masruma family farm. You were just regathering together after Harland had a stint of trying to explain to the mechanist automatons how to properly farm and accidentally triggering a wild magic surge. And Paru and Oliette having a little bit of a moment in Paru's childhood getaway spot, where she found some connection, some hint of potentially some connection to the Gaba Yaga. And as they were leaving and seeing the compost heap that Harland had accidentally dropped unintentionally on the monodrones, and which he had intentionally left them inside, you saw behind you, Oliette and Paru, some sort of gathering of vines, some sort of sentience forming, some sort of angry yellow eyes peeking out from a mass of vines tangling. And I need you all to roll initiative.
Well.
How dare.
$19.
21.
So Oliette got a 21.
21.
Okay. Paru?
19.
19. Harland?
13.
13. And Google is beeping at me, but we already took our break, so shh. Okay. Everything's fine. Harlan got a 13, and we're going to just use a tree emoji for this monster, and it rolled... Oh, poor buddy. Rolled a big ol'... Oh, no, buddy, you have a negative. A big ol' 3. So... I mean, it's at a little bit of a disadvantage. It did just coalesce into existence. So you got to give it a little bit.
I was just bored.
Thank you. That's exactly what his voice is. If he had any language. You watch as these eyes light up and an arm emerges from the vining, made of twisted vine, grabs down off the ground and pulls itself out of the briar. This thing is probably, oh gosh, this thing is probably like 10, 11 feet tall as it crawls out from under the brush towards you, Oliette and Paru. Oliette, you are first in the rotation. Paru, you're on deck. What do you do, Oliette, as this creature is attacking?
How far is it from us?
You are probably you're easily within one movement of it. You're within 30 feet, if not less.
Okay. Gosh, what a stinker. As a bonus action, I am going to Oliette, just kind of in a panic, like, okay, what can I do here? What can I do? What do I know about this? And I'm trying to recall a tale using my College of Spirits.
Yes, please.
So let me roll that real quick and let's see what kind of story I remember.
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
How's that going? How's it treating
you? It's always fun when you don't know which one you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So then I'm like, okay, I know what to do here. And as my action, what is it? It's made out of trees.
It's made out of like
vines.
vining. Yeah, it's made out of like dry vine. It's essentially tree.
Okay. I am going to I'm kind of like in a defensive stance almost. Like I'm very well aware that Paru can take care of herself, but I also just instinctively almost do like the mom arm in a car where it's like
yeah.
And I will say sticks and stones may break my bones, but good thing you're only kindling, and I'm casting vicious mockery at it.
Hell yes, that was amazing.
So it needs to make a wisdom save.
Oh, it's great at that. No, it's not. It's really not. It's 9 total.
Okay, it fails. So it's 1d4 psychic damage.
Okay.
So 2 points of psychic damage, but it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Oh gosh, okay. Awesome.
Okay. And I am going to also would you look at this and consider it to be a large creature, a medium sized, a large.
Large.
Large. All right, then I am going to just whip my wings out, and I'm going to lift myself probably about 5 feet off the ground and maybe 5 feet back, but I'm not going to get too far away.
Okay. All right. Paru, what you got?
All right, you said this thing, it's kindling, right? You said?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know a better way to insult a plant, but yes.
Okay. So she is going to throw out a hand and cast Flame Blade, bringing in a flaming sword into existence, and run up and attack it. Is my dad still out there?
No, he went back inside.
Okay. So yeah, so she pulls up the Flame Blade. It looks like a flaming scimitar, and she begins to make a melee spell attack on it, trying to make it go crunchy. And it has the added bonus that I can see really well because it casts.
Yeah, you get full.
16.
That'll definitely hit.
Yay. So that is 11 points of fire damage.
Whew. Okay. All right. Harland, you are up next.
So he sees this thing and he's like, well, okay. Coming out of the giant turd pile as he
It's not just poop, it's compost.
Okay, it's compost.
Compost needs a rebranding. You keep giving it a bad name.
It's poop, but with earthy tones.
It's got like eggshells in it.
Yeah.
It's compost. Everybody knows what compost is. It's not just poop. Anyway.
So, like halfway out of this thing, like, is he positioned to be able to see this, or is he like?
I mean, you hear this like sort of unpleasant crackling of vines as this massive, like, basically the tree line is becoming sentient and attacking your friends. All right. You are probably you're probably about, I'm gonna say maybe like 60, between 90 and 60 feet away. You're a couple movements from being melee range, but I assume you have things you do that are not that far or not that close required.
Oh, I mean, no Eldritch Blast here, but so Harlan's like if he like hears and sees this like giant like thorn beast that is manifested, it's like all right then, and he's going to put his hands down on the pile of compost and try to move earth away from the harvester.
Okay. Okay, sure. So you kind of get into that earthbender stance and just like, and you hear, what is happening? I didn't allow this. So, you have a permit to move this pile of compost.
I'm the proprietor of this owner of this pile of compost. So yes,
I just need to see a form and triplicate of that effect.
You just keep sign it with whatever you might. Shut up. Well, yeah, he's gonna try to get the harvester out from the pile of poo.
Okay. Then yeah, you kind of clear a little bit off the harvester, but you do have access to it now, and it's got a little of an unhappy sound. It's kind of going like it's sort of going. It's trying real hard.
That arm that's in there.
Yeah, that little robotic metal arm. It's like someone threw a wrench into a dryer.
Oh God.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's an action, and then just hop behind the controls if I can.
It's a push. It's a push model.
Great.
But it is sort of self-propelling. You're mostly in charge of angling it in the right direction.
So I think that'll satisfy my first turn of like getting behind, like starting to push.
Okay. It's like I did not read the manual, but neither did they. So none of us are qualified to operate this machinery. All right, great. So that was Harlan's turn. It is the Vine Golem's turn. This thing pulling itself out from the from within this nest of briar. You see almost a helmet-like face with these big eye holes, and there's yellow glowing behind them. Has this big streaming, almost like locks of vines that come down at the back of its head, and this just burly, twisting, sinewy vines in its muscles as it reaches out with a fist. It's still kind of on the ground. It's climbing itself to its feet, and it just whacks out with a hand at, they'll say, Paru.
Yeah, I ran up to it. I don't know that Oliette
did.
Without Beza here, I think Paru becomes our tank, which is terrible. Oh God. Oh God, what happened?
Okay, so first it does a 14 hit.
Of course I clicked away from... no, it does not hit.
Barely. That's good.
Barely.
That's very good because it rolled a nat 20 on the other one.
Ow.
As it just basically gets a full-on... It was the first one, too. It just went... and slams its fist down at you, which...
Sniffs.
Not great. Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's great. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Everything's fine.
This isn't. No, this is a 10. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then 20 bludgeoning damage. That's 31 bludgeoning damage.
I only have 20 hit points, Angela. Okay.
This is great.
This is fine.
Great.
This is fine.
It's great. It's fine.
This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't get a chance
so
to
you
get my symbiotic entity up to double my hit points. It's fine.
So you watch as this tree just basically, you just watch Paru go, and you just see a fist. And as it pulls back up, you just see her like unconscious on the ground underneath a fist print.
Yeah, and
in the soil.
My sword is gone. I can't maintain concentration on a sword when I'm unconscious.
Yeah. And it reaches back with its arm. And it looks at you, Oliette, and starts climbing up. All right, your turn.
Give me back up. Give me back up. It'll be fine.
I really up and used all my spell slots for no reason today. It's totally fine.
Oh god, I forgot.
Okay. Cause I super don't. Okay. Here's okay. I am going to. Oh my gosh. I guess I will. Do I have anything physical? Of course. You're so. Okay. I am going to. I mean, I must assume. Do I know that Harland is on the way? I saw him
You can look back.
Yeah,
you can look back and be like, and you see Harland behind the harvester machine as it's going, as it's heading in your direction. And maybe an uncomfortable clip for what's essentially a lawnmower. Okay. Faster than maybe it should go. Maybe someone changed the the speed regulator on it to be more efficient.
Oh god. Okay. I am going to. God, this is so freaking stinking dumb. I am going to drop back down to the ground. I'm going to wrap Paru in my arms.
Okay.
In a very weak attempt. And I am going to look up at this creature. And I will start to whisper. And at first it's like a hiss. But then I am, after a few moments, starting to recreate the sounds of the sewer, but in this painfully discordant way. Like it's unholy, these two tones that I'm like muttering. And it has to make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It sucks at this, so maybe that's good.
Don't.
It just automatically loses because I lost the d20. No,
I'll take it.
19.
God. Okay. It saves.
Well.
It's okay. It saves. But it still takes. So it still takes 6 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Cool.
And with my movement, if possible, well, actually, is this an action to drag or movement?
Yeah, I think it would take
action.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm just gonna hold. I'm just gonna stay here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Paru, give me a d20.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, go ahead and DM
you.
Go ahead and DM me. Okay. Harland, your turn.
All right. While I was chastising, proselytizing to the Modrons, did I notice any sort of like gear shift, anything that would like they used when they were like turning to like basically
poorly? Like, there is kind of like what looks like a drive shift on a curve that seems to be the thing you force it to turn with, that that like you probably have a slightly better leverage than the poor Modron did.
I guess what I'm looking for is there a way to shift this into higher gear?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, why would you?
Because it's machinery you've never used before. It was reasonable.
I watched it being used poorly, like
by someone who didn't read the manual, was never licensed for this machine.
A 15.
You go, oh, this little doohickey seems like a speed gauge. There's like one little line, then there's two little lines, then there's three little lines. Oh, I should go up to that one. And you push this thing, and all of a sudden, like what was originally like sort of trudging along a little bit, you're kind of like walking behind it. Now all of a sudden you're like, okay, I better speed up. I put the treadmill too fast, and you start having to run with this thing.
Let it go because it's
let it go. Okay,
because it's hard to steer, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to steer.
And are they in the way?
You're on the ground?
Yeah. If they're in the way,
they're on the ground right now. They're on the ground right now. So you can't be sure if it's gonna turn or not. Wildly, they are definitely like maybe not in a straight line between you, but they are close to between you and the creature.
Oh God.
I'll say for your full action, you can continue actually. No, it's not an action. It's like a free. You're fine. You can adjust the speed of this thing if you need to.
Yeah, then he's going to stick with it to try to, steer it if need be. But as long as it's heading straight for this thing, like he's happy right now.
Okay.
And then going to, what's the range on this? See if I can do it. 30 feet. No, that won't quite work. So now that we've increased speed, how far away are we from it and from the two that are on the ground?
You're probably your next turn. You'll be right up on this thing.
Okay, so
like in your movement.
Got it. So now would be the time that if I was going to try to divert away from the two of them, I would need to do it.
Do it now.
Okay, so if assuming that we're within range, Harlan's gonna like earthbender and like stomp his foot like
oh my God.
Style
and make a ramp
and make a ramp.
Yes! And you see as this rock you just sort of stamp and you punch up and you see this ramp form as the harvester goes and it's like quiet for a second.
I freaking love earthbending.
As this thing collides into the vine creature, and I'm gonna roll big old die. To do I won't tell you the number, but it is a fuck ton. You basically have thrown a weed whacker, an industrial weed whacker at this thing. And you watch as vines just go and just like it's upsetting. If you like, it's kind of horribly violent as this harvest.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right. And so you watch and you watch as these vines break apart and all of this blackness just sprays from the vines and drips down from all the like wounds that it now has.
Ink?
And you have as this harvester is just twisting and getting caught in the vines, and it just keeps working on the innards of this creature, and we're gonna say until it gets it like free, this harvester's gonna continue doing damage to this thing every round. So yeah, I rolled a d12 and I rolled so shit. Luckily this will be a per round problem for it. And it's just like as this vining is through it.
Cool. And alley-oop to the next person. That's both of my actions.
It is the vine golem's turn as it's trying to wrench the... Oh, poor buddy. As it's trying to wrench this harvester out of its chest, and you watch as these like the sinewy arms of this thing just tighten as it gets its fists around like parts of this thing and is just pulling, but the motor just keeps running and these blades just keep and there's just more and more black ink just pouring out of this thing, and it takes more damage because it didn't get the thing out.
Oh, did it just use its action to try to pull that thing out of its chest?
Darn,
Oh,
it did. It totally did. Poor buddy. Yeah.
Poor buddy by ass.
I know. So yeah, it freaking out a little bit at this thing eating away at the inside of it. And it is Oliette's turn.
Okay.
You watch as all of this black is spewing out of this vine creature.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine watching this thing launch over us, basically.
What the fuck?
There's like ink splattering. I would immediately recognize at least what it must smell like ink.
Mm-hmm.
Or does okay, so I know what's going on at this point.
It's like that scene in Mad Men with the lawnmower.
Oh god.
But black, but
why would you
black
put that
ink.
back in my brain?
I'm sorry. I have that GIF on like occasional rotation whenever I describe something gory in a D&D
good
game.
episode. Okay.
Such a good animated
Such
GIF
a good
though.
show. Okay. All right. I promise I didn't gamble too hard with your life here, Paru.
It's fine. It's fine.
I will. Hang on. I gotta read this one more time. Okay.
Yeah. You check what you need.
Okay. I will, I have Paru basically cradled in my arms, and I'm trying to use my wings, which are still invisible.
You're just a flying
because I'm
orc.
basically cat.
You're a flying half orc.
Cat.
Oh my god, if Chim sees this, he will be like, do you remember that time that you flew? It was like 5 minutes ago.
I will lean in as close as I can and just I will say, okay, once upon a time, very, 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 very far in the future, definitely not today, there was this wonderful little mushroom girl, and she had become another version of herself, and she had crossed over into another plane of existence, and when she got there, she found her tall mushroom friend, Sniffs, who had been waiting for her all these years, and Sniffs was like, I am so glad that you made it, but Paru, today is not that day. And I am going to roll 2d6 plus 3. So you regain 9 hit points.
Hey.
Yay.
That's real good. That's real good.
That's real good. That's real good.
So you should come back up.
Yes.
That is my action.
Okay.
And I don't think I can do... Oh, wait. Nope, I sure can't. So, bonus action, I'm just gonna go, Arland!
Fuck! Yeah, that... May I share, Tessa?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, that was real good. She rolled a 1 on her death save. That was real good.
Good.
You watched as Paru was doing real bad, and you popped her back up. Paru, you hear Oliette's voice. You hear a little bit of the story as you kind of shudder back into consciousness, and everything hurts. It feels like you got hit by a harvester. It's like it's quite substantial pain and achiness that you're in, but you are being carried, so you're not like stuck on the ground or anything. So that's good.
All right, but I'm up.
You are up with 9 hit points.
All right. Am I Are you holding me in place? Can I move, or are you like holding me back?
It wasn't. I'm not like restraining you or anything. It was mostly just like trying to cradle you in case it hit again. It would hit me first.
Got it.
So you can break out of the.
Okay. 1 second. I wasn't sure if I was going to be up, so I didn't have something planned, but I have an idea. So Paru looks at you and goes, thanks. This is going to get messy. And she invokes her symbiotic entity and awakens the spores within her. And I'm going to get an extra 12 hit points from that. And I will do double damage on melee hits with my necrotic bonus as well. So
yeah.
She's gonna get up and she's very angry. And actually you just see her hands in this kind of just turn to claws as she goes full feral and just launches herself at it. And starts carving her up. With some algaes. With primal savagery. There we go.
One of my favorite druid spells is primal savagery.
Yeah. So she launches herself full claws out to slash as she's in her symbiotic entity. So,
okay. So give me the damage on that.
15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Excellent. So that's takes me a second.
I don't feel the need to hide this. This will probably be the way I run this most of the time. No need for hidden ACs. Are you trying to hit a 12?
Okay.
This thing is massive. It is not hard to aim for.
Yay! I rolled max damage, so that is a D10 of acid, as my nails have sharpened into claws as I claw through it as I'm glowing these spores that have infused me with their. Oh, and that's a melee attack. So hang on, I get to do 6 points of necrotic damage as well because it was a melee attack.
Awesome. So what's that total?
16 points of damage.
16. Dang. Cool. Good job, Hara.
Thank you.
Harland, you launched the harvester. What do you do now? You're within 30 feet of this thing, probably.
Okay. So seeing that Paru is back up, his anger, some of his anger subsides a little bit, but he's still pretty irritated that this thing is still alive and kicking. So yeah, he's gonna like kind of look at it and then look at the harvester and just it's just going. And so what he basically is gonna just like clap his hands together and rub them. He's like, all right, better pray that your heart is with whatever god you serve, because your ass is grass. And this warbling chaotic beam of energy shoots out from his hands, and is going to try to hit the harvester in the middle of this thing.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think you have to roll for the kind of damage.
It's a range attack first.
All right, go ahead and roll ranged. All right.
That would be a 14. Not great.
That'll hit.
Oh, dang. Cool.
You're shooting for a 12. You're good.
Sweet. So that's 2d8. I got a 5 and a 6. Thank God they weren't the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So that's 5 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
6 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And then just 5 points of whatever, let's call it chaos damage, because it's plus a d6.
Chaos!
What was that? 5?
5.
Did anybody else do poison?
No, I chose acid.
Okay. Harland, you watch as the poison
I did
seeps...
attack the harvester, by the way.
Oh, the harvester, you're right.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hold on, you're right. Let me fix that.
But now that I know that, I will change up to poison with my claws. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I'm just, well, I mean, fair. I did tell you. All right, so let me add the harvester here and then figure out how many hit points it has. Let's see. I mean, what are you trying to do? You're just trying to explode it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of damage for an object. So yeah, you watch as this bolt aims right for the center of this creature where the harvester is, and it just blasts a hole through the harvester, and you watch as this like little tiny explosion as the vine creature kind of roars back, and this fire just kind of rakes up over its body. Whew.
I like those noises.
Me too.
Whew, yeah. Yeah, and you watch as this flame just sort of burns and sizzles. As you see more of that black ink spurting out of spots, but it's burning up in the fire. And it's just sort of smoldering now as this creature it kind of falls to a knee and just sort of like stares out at you with these kind of yellow eyes coming out from the helmet. It's not looking great, just in case that was a good clue. It is the Vine Golem's turn, in which I believe it is it like this harvester is no more, so it's not going to try to get it out of its body anymore. It is going to take a shot at the closest thing to it, which is probably
That's me.
Paru and Oliette. It's Paru.
Yeah, because I came at it with my claws. That's fine.
It rolled a 17
that hits.
to hit.
That hits. Remember, I'm beefy right now. I got extra hit points. I'm good.
Oof, and it hits the second time too.
I'm still good.
Not a 20, but
Still fine.
Yeah,
Still good. Still fine.
Whew, okay. Okay. 24 bludgeoning damage?
Because of the temporary hit points, I'm still up.
Okay. So as you see this thing going with both fists, boom, boom, trying to hit down, and it's sort of Paru, you're able to kind of like scramble a little bit, but you get nicked on the first hit, and then the second hit also sort of punches, and you like fly a couple feet, and you hit the ground. You're like, oh, okay, I'm up, I'm good. And you see a little thumbs up. Clawed thumbs up.
Yeah.
Do you have to do any concentration checks or anything?
Let me see if the primal savagery is concentration real quick. No, everything I have going on right now is not concentration. So
Okay.
I'm good. So she gets herself back up, and she's just like, didn't work. She's still got her claws out. Try again.
Okay. All right. And then it sees you do that.
I think she says, "Bite me, ink boy," is what she says, actually.
And you watch as it reaches out with a hand and hits the ground, and its vines start growing into the ground. And you watch this sort of ripple happening in the dirt, and the ripple seeps back up into its fingertips. And it is it's sort of like, it doesn't breathe, but it's sort of as it absorbs nutrients from the ground.
Got it.
And heals a little bit. And Oliette, it is your turn.
Oliette is so ill prepared for this moment. Okay. Bag of tricks is almost empty. I'm gonna just give me one more story, and I'm gonna try this one more time. We'll see what Let's see what happens here. Okay, let me see which one I rolled. That's my bonus action to think of a story, and I have thought of...
Think. Go all Winnie the Pooh. Sorry, that's Harlan. Harlan was dealing with the compost.
That's true.
Hey. Right back at you.
Okay. 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 I'm going. This is dumb. This is real dumb.
Oh, do it.
This is great.
All right.
That's the best.
Okay. I am going to look at this creature. It is. I'm going to use my movement to back up a little bit because it's getting too real. So I will go back airborne and back up a little bit.
Sure. Get up.
However, as I am backing up, I am going to say, there once was this mysterious individual. We used to call him Villain. We call him Villain now. All he does is cause mischief and tricks. He cannot be trusted. And it's time for them to get a grip. And they have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's that's a natural one.
Yes.
Okay, this creature is now charmed by me.
You watch as the creature just as you talk. When you say the name Villain, it and then you finish the story and you watch the eyes of this thing go from yellow to like gray, dim, passive. And it just sort of like kind of sits there and pulls its hand from out of the ground, just covered, like sort of seeping with ink and dirt. And it just kind of rests it on the ground a little bit. Its arms are a little longer than its legs, so it's almost like a little gorilla stance.
Okay. The charmed target must use its next action to make a melee attack against another creature other than itself that I mentally choose.
Okay.
However. Yes, this is what I will do.
Oh no.
So the thing is, we're not the ones that you're after. It's those guys back there. And I'm going to point towards one of the Modrons that's probably trying to claw its way out of the compost by now.
Oh, no.
That's the one you're after, actually.
Oh, my God.
And it gets up and you just watch it go towards the compost heap over Harland. And you're just like, okay. As this thing charges towards the compost heap and you watch this little shiny orb putting itself out from this
I almost feel a little bad.
Yeah. And the Duodron pulls up and is like, this was not part of the scheduled assignment. As you see this thing, and it will make a slam attack, which it misses, and it just hits the compost heap, and you just hear, and it just splatters everywhere. You just watch what looks almost like a little dirt explosion, but is really just compost flying everywhere. And you just hear 4 distinct little tones of ah!
Oh my god. So until the end of its next turn, it is charmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
am
so this
assuming
thing
that if I attack it breaks your charm.
Yeah.
I don't think it only breaks it if I attack it, I think.
Ooh.
It just says if you attack?
No, I'm just saying the charmed it's just a charmed condition. Let me double check.
Yeah, I was gonna say go ahead and take a look, but I mean, for now you can assume maybe, but we'll double check.
So a charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer. And I have advantage on ability checks to interact socially. It doesn't say anything that other people can't attack it and it breaks the charm. I just think I can't.
Excellent.
It'd be in the spell description.
Yeah.
Anything.
He said it'd be in the spell description.
I think,
like in charm person?
This specific
or charm creature, charm monster.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one doesn't have it doesn't say that it's the charm spell. It just says
then
it's
we'll
charmed
say
by
it
you.
doesn't. Then we'll say it doesn't have any conditions. It just is.
Okay.
All right, excellent. So Paru sees this. She's wipes the blood from her nose and she's like, "Oh no, 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 no," and she changes from a little tiny goblin into a Dimetrodon.
Please describe.
She shifts into a dinosaur. And uses her wild shape ability to say, "Fuck you. I'm taking these hit points now with me, and I'm gonna go fuck you up."
Holy fucking shit. It's a dinosaur. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Yep, so she just goes ham on this creature. So you see this little Dimetrodon run towards it and then jump onto its back and just start.
Hell yeah. So yeah, go ahead and give me some attack rolls.
Okay, that hits us more than
Sure.
what you said. 7 plus 10 points of damage from my claws.
Okay. Awesome.
And
so
now
you
I
watch
have the
this...
Dimetrodon's hit points in addition to mine, so it's okay.
Great. So as you claw into this creature, you're just ripping vines out of its back, and it's sort of reaching back in a bit of a panic as it's being clawed at. Harland, your turn.
All right. Is it still on fire in any way, shape, or form?
It is smoldering a little bit. You see a little bit of burned embers deep inside.
Okay. So, I mean, would this be non-magic? Anyway, so what Harlan does is he's basically looks at the fire and looks at Paru and looks at Kat, who is just kicking butt and taking names, and is just going to lean forward and just cast control flames.
Yes, please. Okay.
And just push the flames, try to reignite them and push.
You're blowing on a fire, is what you're saying. You're blowing on a campfire. Okay.
Also, I forgot that Harlan thinks I'm Cat still.
Because he's a dum-dum? Yeah.
It's adorable.
All right, it takes another 4 fire damage as I'm rolling shit on my damage rolls, except for that 1d20. Or that one nat 20. You watch as Harlan just and almost identical to kindling. This is dried vine. Not only is it smoldering, just this idea of you see the smoke kind of fill its face and sort of come up off of this. This creature looks fucking badass right now if the fire were coming from it, but it's not. I used to have a toy like that. Anyway, so yeah, you see this finned 4 quadrupedal dinosaurs, huge sail fin on the back of it, just clawing at the vine golem, and then you see the smoke billowing up from the golem, and it is the golem's turn, of which the golem is in a bit of a rage right now, and does not have the capability of healing itself again. But you do watch as this thing sort of claws its hand into the ground again, and you watch as vines sort of not peel, but like grow off its arm and like almost root it into the ground. And it does it with its, it leaves one sort of, actually more of its legs root into the ground, not its arm. And you watch as these vines sort of twist down and break the earth, this tilled earth, as it kind of roots down and starts kind of clawing back at the dinosaur. And as it does that, it has rooted and it can't move, no movement speed anymore. But it is sort of like the roots kind of build up thicker, even around that little flame going on. It looks like almost its skin thickened a little bit with that attempt to root itself to the ground. And it will then use its attack to kind of punch back at the dinosaur that is attacking it right now. And it rolls a big ol' 8.
I'm checking. No, it does not hit me.
And then it rolls a big ol' 18.
That definitely hits me.
I've been rolling this wrong. Oops, but that's fine. It's not a 5, it's an 8 to hit. So that's an 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 21 to hit, actually, on this one. I have been very kind to all of you. We'll say when it rooted, it had better, like its fists are bigger, so it's hitting harder. There.
Yeah, there you go.
Retcon. Perfect. Yeah. Gotta love it. All right, so it hits the dinosaur. What was it called?
A Dimetrodon.
The Dimetroparu.
Yes, the Dimetroparu.
And it does 5 plus 5, so 10 bludgeoning damage to the dinosaur.
All right. There's still a dinosaur there.
Yeah. It's upset though. It's very upset.
Good. Stay upset.
That is Aliette's turn.
Oh man. Okay. All right. How far back was that pile of compost? How far am I from it now?
I mean, it's right up on it is right up on the pile of compost.
No, how far am I from this unfolding?
You are probably about maybe a little more than 30 feet away.
Okay. I am going to I'm spent, so I'm gonna haul ass 20 feet in that direction.
Okay.
Use the last 10 feet of my movement to go straight up into the air.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull my Yuckelwa from behind my back.
Hell
and
yeah.
I'm going to like launch it down into the head of this thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yes. Go ahead and give me a ranged attack. As that's the thing where there's like almost a little spear on a with some leverage.
Yeah, it's like a
Gotcha. It's got like a little launcher to it. It's like a spear launcher.
Yeah. A 3-foot wooden shaft with a steel blade up to 18 inches long.
Thanks for the raid. Hello, raiders.
20.
Not 20! Raiders are good luck. Yeah. So what you do is you roll your damage and then you add the maximum you could roll with the damage die. So it's max damage plus a regular roll. If that makes sense.
I'm gonna this picture. Okay. Okay, what am I doing? One is a whole thing. So one is max damage and then roll the other one?
And then roll the other one. Yeah, you're only adding the maximum of the damage die. You're not adding the modifier again. You're just doing the max damage.
Got it. Okay, so that is 12 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll post this picture in the chat.
And you get, as you throw this thing down, you're basically right on top of this thing, and you just drill it down through its like vine bark skull, and there's only like a tiny little bit showing as it just completely buried itself into the skull of this thing. And it's sort of like it kind of like grabs its head a little bit and just kind of collapses a little bit to its knees, even though it is still rooted to the ground. But it is absolutely not happy right now.
Okay, that is my whole turn.
Okay. Paru.
All right.
Your turn. What does the magical Leopleurodon Paru do? Leoparodon?
Leoparodon. She is just gonna try and bite its head clean off. If she possibly
can. Hell
yeah.
Yeah.
Very angry. It came out of her
Go ahead.
special place.
Yeah.
Came out on her land, on her family's farm. Tried to kill her. Almost did. She's mad.
Yep.
I shit you not, that's a natural 20. I'm so excited.
Raiders are good luck. Okay.
Okay.
What is the damage die? Just
It's a D10.
What's the damage die? You don't have to roll. Just tell me what you do.
She opens her mouth as this creature wraps her jaw.
Does the mouth
head.
unhinge? Does the jaw unhinge of this dinosaur?
Yeah, because I don't care about the dinosaur form. It'll hurt me, but it'll be fine. So I basically just mouth all the way around it and tear backwards.
Ooh. And you're just... It's kind of gross. It tastes like ink and dirt and vine. But you feel as your fangs, as that row of sharp, razor sharp teeth just crush into the dried vining of this golem. And you just feel it tense. And as you crunch harder, like a fucking nacho chip, you feel it just kind of go limp. As it's from...
Internally, she thinks, is this what goblin teeth are supposed to be like?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
And you all watch as just ink pours from the bite wound that the dinosaur rips into, and there's just black ink everywhere, all across the dinosaur's face, and it all bleeds to the ground, drips as this thing sort of its legs clinging into the dirt sort of loosen just a little. They're still dug in, but they're not gripping like they were before, as this thing just falls into basically a heap. It loses its form. It just becomes a just pile of vine and like the implication of limbs, but it mostly just whatever was able to twist into a form. So yeah, you it's quiet, except you do hear as the Modron and the Dutron are running down the road back to the next farm over. And it is quiet. You see a bunch of heads in the house looking out the windows. A dozen or more little goblin faces staring at Paru that turned into a dinosaur. And you hear a voice at the door, which is clearly Chim, going, "That was totally wicked!"
Yes.
And yeah, it's quiet.
Paru,
and you're all catching your breath.
Paru
and
kind of slumps back down, shifts back into herself, and just collapses in a heap with her one singular hit point.
Oh man, so good.
I am going to lower to the ground.
Okay.
As Cat still realizing all these children saw this.
Cat is gonna have some words like, "What the hell happened? They told me I was flying." So yeah, in your disguised in your disguised form, you lower yourself to your feet onto the ground, and you're in front of this heap of ink and vine, and just this empty face. You see a little bit of a helmet, kind of crushed by the dinosaur.
Okay. Oh, Cat, give me strength. I'm gonna reach in and try and rip it open and get my weapon out.
Okay. So you're at like where the mask is, and you're like trying to peel the mask off. Go ahead and give me a strength check, I guess.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to rip the face
really
off of a
good
thing.
At this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really good at this. It's gonna be fine.
No, we know you're great at this. No
oh
one
God,
ever.
I swear. Here are my hands. I'm getting my phone. I swear.
I would like to personally thank the MVP of tonight's game, the raiders from Any Actor, who the moment you showed up, we ended up with 3 nat 20s.
I swear.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Also, these are my diehard dice.
So, diehard dice, you say?
Get you some diehard dice.
You mean diehard dice? Like if you go to dieharddice.com and you use the code Nerdsmith-2021, you can get 10% off your product.
Yeah, if you just want. To ruin all your DM's plans, go to diehard dice.
That's beautiful.
Ruin.
Yeah. So but it's also a +0, so it's just 20.
But with your natural 20, you just need this goddamn thing to. And you manage, and maybe it's partly this little tank of strength you find within yourself of rage and anger as you think about where this thing fucking came from. Also, maybe it's a little bit that the dinosaur loosened it like a jar of pickles. For
That's probably mostly
it. Might be kind of that. Pickles isn't that far off. This thing is pretty pickled at this point. It's pretty gross. Acid. Acid. You threw acid at it. You pickled it. Anyway, so you pry the face off of this golem, this wooden sort of almost helm kind of image, and you just tear the whole thing off, and you watch as this, and it just kind of peels off, and you see your spear sticking a little bit in as if you just brained the thing. And you start pulling it out. You got to put your boot in the vinage, and you get ink and dirt and stuff on your boots as you're pulling it. And you pull it out, and you've got it, and you kind of glance down at this inside of this mask, and there's drawings on the inside of the mask.
I'm taking it with me.
Do you look at everything on the inside of this mask? This mask is bigger than your body. This is a big.
Oh, I forgot how big this thing is.
No, this thing is
for
10.
some reason I was thinking it was a.
No, this thing is 10 feet tall. It's probably got
obviously
the mask is probably the mask is the size of a shield. So if you wanted to get real badass, you could probably fashion it.
Okay, I'm taking it with me now.
You're Harland, I need you to carry something for me.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I do want to inspect it though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you kind of put the spear away from the is the Equa? I can't pronounce it. Yukulwa. Oh yeah. So you put the ammo back from your weapon, and you walk up to this, almost smoking a little bit still from the embers of the fire, kind of not raging, but smoldering inside it. And you see the inside is almost like a fine sanded wood on the inside. Not paper. Could have been paper maybe someday if someone had processed it. But you see ink scrawled across the back of the helmet and this face. You see drawings. You see your face. You see the others drawn on it. You see labels, names, and give me a perception check as you study this thing. You're looking for
run out, but yeah.
Go ahead and try.
We'll see.
Can I give?
Okay, my luck has run out. That's a 7.
Okay, my guidance wouldn't have helped.
Okay. No. So, and you see on the mask, and you can always ask the others to take a look too. But you see Harland, you see Paru, you see Beza, and you see you. Under your name, it says the little bookish girl. Though there's things scratched out of it. There's other words that were written first and scratched out.
I will in my best cat impersonation. Harlan, come Come look at this. I think this is your face.
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Come over.
Look at this. I don't know. I don't know any of this, but this looks like your deal.
Can I
As he's
crawl over
just
to
like
look?
himself.
Yeah, you too. Also you, but you know who I am. But because I'm Cat, so come on over.
I am who I look like. Okay. Yeah, so Harlan and Paru, you wander up on the back of this mask and you see yourselves drawn sort of rough a little bit. And you see your names, little scribbles, kind of a rough hand. You both give me a perception check as you look over the mask.
22.
22?
Yeah.
7.
Paru. Paru, as you look around this, these drawings, you think back to do you still have the page that has your drawing, Oliet? Paru, there's something a little, not quite right when you're looking at the portraiture in here.
This is...
You're not quite sure what it is. You think back to what the original will look like, but you don't remember offhand.
Something's wrong here. This isn't right. It's not the same as it was.
Take your word for it.
Can I make out what was scratched underneath Oliet's name?
Yeah. Go ahead. So you take a look and you kind of look at the other things scratched out, and you see like a few letters that you don't. It takes a second for you to look, and you see HERMA, and it's scratched really roughly. And then you see BOO, and that's scratched out really rough. And then the little bookish girl is written there. But you're looking at the portraits of each of you, and they're a little less detailed. They're a little more rushed. Almost like either they were being drawn really quickly, or they were being drawn with a shaky hand.
Whoever did this, I don't think was in complete control of themselves. It's like they were trying to write Her Majesty or something here, but they scratched it out.
Well, I did happen to notice that, Cat, when you said Elaine's name when we were fighting it, it did look rather upset.
All right. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna grab Harlan by the arms and position him between myself and the house.
Okay. And Harlan, you're like, oh God, this is it, Harlan. You get ready. This is it. Like,
He leans in and he does it.
You turn him, and then you get a big old smack on the face, Alia, as Harlan kisses Cat.
Paru is on the ground.
Mwah.
Ow, this hurts, but this is hilarious. Ow, ow,
You hear Chim from the doorway. You get your hands off my woman!
This is... Oh.
There's so many layers to what's happening right now that you're just like, more to unpack later. Unpack.
Sorry, did I misread that signal? I apologize if I was too forward.
internally, I'm like, why? I didn't hate that.
Yeah, he's not a bad kisser. He's clearly had practice.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to work through that later. Harland.
Yep.
Harland.
Oh my god. You're not making any attempt to sound like Kat here, is what
No, I sound like Oliette at this point.
Okay,
I'm trying to keep my voice low. My intention was to use Harlan to shield my person so I could morph back, but now that Chim has seen you kiss me, I'm kind of stuck. So I'm just trying to... Harland. It's me. It's me.
You know, it stands to reason it's rather strange that you knew Verlaine's name, because I don't believe we ever mentioned it to you.
I think you need to dumb this down.
Lundy, you are adorable.
Harlan. Like, lean in close. Not
too close. You keep your head down.
I'm trying to... But I am going to lean close. Harlan. It's not Kat. It's Oliette.
Has been gone a while.
Harlan, you remember when you and Beza switched bodies?
Don't panic. Don't panic. I did this because I was hoping maybe it would prevent us from being followed if they thought that they weren't following me, but it turns out that didn't work. But we're in a little too deep at this point, okay? So just, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's cool.
Harlan.exe has stopped working.
That's fine. I got you. I mean, we can talk about it later. But I got you. We can deal with that at another time. We'll revisit that. You take your... Oh, God. Okay. Oh, man. I'm sorry.
As hilarious as this revelation is,
Harlan's expression can only... No, Harlan's expression is only what one could describe as, well, I declare.
We should probably not be here when those bucket of bolts
we
get
do
back.
We have to get out of here. Okay? Paru, can you say goodbye really quick? Because also this spell's going to run out fast, so we got to get on the road.
If I can move, sure.
Harlan, can you grab her?
Take it back, like we used to do.
I don't think my mom and dad would fine. She kind of...
Arms around the neck. Come on.
Fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harlan, do you squat? and she hops up and you haul her like a Yoda backpack over to the house, and Chim is fuming. He's loading up a slingshot with a slug, and he's just like,
I will eat you in dinosaur form if you fling that. Thank you.
Little goblin with beady little eyes, really angry.
I promise you'll get your chance, Vine. I promise you'll get your chance someday. And she kind of pats him on the head.
That's a lot of promise for on Cat's behalf.
Poor Cat is going to kill us.
I said you get a chance.
That's true. That's fair.
I didn't say...
Throwing lights now.
I mean, you did knock that creature's lights out, but that's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
I didn't say he had a chance. I said he'd get his chance to try.
Yep. So, you all, so you rush over to the house, and your parents are just like, are you, your mother's just like, are you all right?
Some first aid would be much appreciated in this situation, I believe.
I've got a little bit of juice left, but not much.
We've got bandages in the house, but I'm not sure we have what you need.
Oh, I still have spells left. I'm silly. She sits down and she casts Cure Wounds on herself because I forgot that I have that.
Your mom, your mother rushes like, come on inside, come on. and you set Paru down, and she does that, and you're both handed a little satchel of very, very, very cold rocks because they don't have ice. And you just like dab your head a little or something. And yeah, so, and your father's just like, that was never seen anything like it, any of that before.
Yeah, we're a little bit of bruisers when we need to be.
Can see that.
She casts Cure Wounds on herself real quick, and she's like, "Oh, okay, that's better. Are you guys hurt? Are you guys okay?"
You just hear a little smattering of, "No, we're okay. That was awesome. I'm gonna be a dinosaur. Why does Paru get to be a dinosaur?"
Well, it'll take you about 9 years to learn it, kiddo. All right, there you go.
Why did my brain just go 11 days?
11 days. Oh no, that's in my head now.
You do hear a smattering of adult voices in the crowd going, "Okay, that was even worse than last time." There's a little bit of that. But your mother's just like checking on you, and
yeah.
Is it still safe here?
Not for us. We'll be going, but
I'm gonna escort these guys back to town, and it's totally fine.
I am Cat.
And I am Cat, as you very well know.
Harlan's just staring at you.
Harlan does not understand like code switching.
I, as a player, feel so guilty.
Kyle's doing it.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Kyle knows, even if Harlan doesn't know. Yeah.
It's a very important distinction to make.
I will say, if any, people you don't recognize come around here, maybe particularly this shifty-looking individual with an eye patch, just, don't tell them anything. That's your best bet.
Eye, and he points out the actual eye it's supposed to be, like, not just any eye patch.
You see like a couple of goblins just like, okay. Very confused.
Sorry, I should.
Or in awe of Cat, the fact that they just found out that Katora Youngtaker can fucking fly. Yeah, you're gonna have to
I have to go. I have some.
Yeah, I know. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come. I wanted to see you guys, but I. You're right. It's even worse than it was last time.
You feel a hand on your shoulder, and it's your father. And he's sort of shaking his head a little bit. We're glad to know you're doing okay, and that we didn't do right by you. And you see your mother behind him, and she's not disagreeing. She's holding the baby, but she's got a lot of regret on her face.
I know I'm not what you expected.
And he kisses your forehead, and you hear him real quiet go, "You're better."
She just launches herself into a hug around him.
You just see Grump face. Oh.
Okay. All right, let's go before we
your
get
mother. Your mother basically throws food at you. Like, take it for the road. And she puts her hand on your face and she's like, "Be careful."
Would it make it better or worse if I told you that Sniffs was a 6-foot-tall mushroom who was my best friend? Probably worse.
Worse now, better in a few hours.
Okay.
She throws a quick hand around you and hugs you tight.
She has them. Jim, slugs. Not at the Modrons. Don't piss him off, okay?
What about the Duodrons?
She
They've
leans
got
down.
2 eyes.
As long as you don't get caught. Alright, be good. If you have to.
You gonna be even taller when I see you next?
No, I think I'm done growing, kiddo. It's about as tall as I'll get.
Depends on what she changes into.
That's true.
Oh yeah, you can turn into another dinosaur when I see you next.
I could. I can change into all sorts of things.
What about one that what about
One that flies? Maybe someday. I can't yet, but who knows? Maybe next time. You'll have to go for a ride next time I come then. If I can fly. I'll take you on a ride. How's that?
looks back at your mom?
She gives a little whistle for Button.
Up. He seems like he has a bit of a pot belly right now. Got a bit of a food baby going. This little fire lizard.
Did you get all the
Takes a while.
snacks?
He slowly climbs up your
All right, come on.
Do you pick up this fat little lizard?
God.
Or pangolin lizard. And yeah, and you all leave. We're gonna say that there was a fight.
Beza
We're gonna
tuning up, or
we're gonna say
I would have
Beza
said wake up, but she doesn't sleep.
Yeah, we're gonna say Beza like wandered off where the Modrons and the Duodrons ran off to like make sure if you had time. And you meet her on the way back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. So yeah, you
How
you
long
head
is the
back-
walk back to town? Sorry.
Probably like a half hour.
Okay.
It's away.
Okay.
You gotta cut through a bunch of farm fields to get there.
Okay. I'm just lugging this mask behind me.
This huge shield-like mask. It is actually like sort of that half shape. So it looks like a shield with a face on it.
I'll get it cleaned up.
Yeah. And yeah, considering what's on it, that kind of thing, kind of study it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe once you get all the information off it, you give it to Kat as a sorry for impersonating her. Anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you all head down through this eternal twilight of the farms. You see more monodrones and duodrones farming in the fields. You see a bit of a hubbub going on with a big collection of the little monodrones all communing and talking a bit. You think those might be the ones that were having the problem, and you're like, just keep walking. And you head back to the city of En-Chanterelle'd, where you have a place to stay for the night if you really want to. Or you can start leaving. It's up to you all.
We should crash for the night.
Maybe Sweater Daddy's around. No.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not looking for him as we're walking through, but I'm
trolling through the city looking for this one.
I will,
dude who's on a
before we
train.
enter the city, drop the disguise self.
Sure. You
Doesn't
go,
make sense.
You go around a corner and you snap
Yeah.
and you're down and you're back. And you head back into the city, and your task next, or your next immediate action, will be something that we will reserve for next week as we go into chapter 14. So that's the end of chapter 13. We will leave you there for tonight. Good job, everybody. That was real good.
Thank you, Angela. You were amazing.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. I'm glad to have gotten back. Thank you so much to everybody who stuck out the whole show. Those of you who rated, thank you so much. Thank you to Laugh Love Lindy for rating with a party of 24, Raven with your party of 6, and any actor with your party of 10 who are apparently 10 lucky sons of bitches because we got 3 nat 20s within a half an hour of you guys showing up.
That was great. Thank you for that. We needed it.
So good.
Thank you so much. And also thank you to the nat 30s for following tonight. That's really awesome. Everyone, we hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening and the rest of your week. We will be here same time, same place, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, here on our channel, We Are Nerdsmith. Tomorrow night will be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be hosting Discover RPG, which is my little, like, do whatever bullshit I feel like show it's turned into.
It's a good show.
But I will be continuing to play some video games with a few friends of mine. We've been playing some narrative games, specifically Monster Camp and Monster Prom, where we do all the voices while we play, and it's very fun. We might be playing those tomorrow night. We might be playing something else. We haven't really decided yet. I did just get Mysterium, which I'm very excited to play. I love the board game dearly. I'm very interested in playing the video game, which is very cool. So join us tomorrow for Discover RPG, and then again we'll be back on Tuesday for Shenanigoons Book of Fables. Everybody, thank you again for showing up. Thank you to our sponsors, Eldritch Foundry with their kick-ass fantasy miniatures, World Anvil, amazing campaign management and world building software, and Die Hard Dice. Once again, thank you for the nat 20s, Die Hard Dice. And if you use the code Nerdsmith-2021, you get 10% off your purchase. So please check them out. And be sure to check out the Mythica Dark Copper Dire D20.
They are lovely.
It's huge.
It is huge.
And again, we are part of the Nerdsmith Network, so check us out at nerdsmith.org. Pretty much on any social media, you find us at We Are Nerdsmith, and you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsmith. We have a bunch of bonus content that you get access to exclusively as a patron, and we also would love for you to consider joining our Discord community. Our entire cast of people come from our Discord. We have a really nice community there. We try to maintain a safe and positive place there. Also a place for you to discuss topics that are happening right now. It's a place that we're very proud of, that we have managed to maintain over the last several years, and we would love for you to join us. And so please check out the links below. And thank you so much to our players. You guys are so good. I love playing with you all.
I love playing with you too.
And we will have our dear Heather next week. California's crazy weather-wise right now, and I don't blame her for doing what she needed to do for herself right now.
It is
so
howling outside of my house right now.
All right, everybody. We will see you here next week for chapter 14 of the Book of Fables. We'll see you all next week. Have a safe week. Make good choices. Make smart choices. Be safe. And above all, please do me a favor and be good to each other. All right. To be continued. Bye-bye.
Bye.